Our next presenter is coming up. Have been some folks I've been helping out with their effort, the LakeshOrePeoples Museum, and they're a wonderful group of folks who've got this great idea, and they're going to tell you a little bit about the LakeshOrePeoples Museum and what that's about, and it's really cool. So, Cassandra Cannon and Rhonda Cox and Willow Walsh from the LakeshOrePeoples Museum.
My name is Cassandra Cannon. I'm CEO and founder of the United Urban Network Incorporated. We're in the city of Gary. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, socio-educational program, so we do a lot of outreach. We noticed that especially in places like Gary, where there's been a lot of urban blight, and as people come in and the need and the desire for progress, when it kind of outpaces the inclusiveness of the people that is designed to benefit, then what you do, you have a problem. Because what's often happens is that we are not included in those minutes of sitting down, discussing, or planning what is going to happen to a place that now we have called home. So we looked around and we saw that a lot of people were not part of this process. And in the process of doing that, they shut down. They were shut down because they felt like they were being kept out of their own home, their own legacy, their own heritage. So Sandra Goldsby, who couldn't be here today, who is a former art teacher from the Gary Community School Corporation, she and I sat down and our thing was, well, what can we do to re-energize people about what's going on? Because you cannot have progress and not have the people that this progress is designed for to be involved. And one of the things we notice is that progress sometimes leaves the legacy, it leaves the heart and soul of the people behind. So what people sometimes perceive is, well, you know, this group of people do not want to help us do better for them, but what they're saying is, if you ask us, we can help you do better for all of us. If you ask us what we want and what we need, we will work with you. In the process of this, we heard a lot of people say, well, hey, the things that we grew up and we knew and loved no longer exist. So what we came up with was a program where we would reconnect with our community and ask, well, what do you consider important? What is it that's being lost? As progress is moving, we need progress, but what are we losing? And the first thing everybody's saying, we're losing our identity. You know, what's happening is good, but you're not telling us where we fit in. So during this time, we went to a little small mini conference called the Welcome Project, and that was with Allison Schutte and Willow and other group of people, and they had actually collected an audio version of various members throughout the Gary, Indiana, and I'm not sure if it was Northwest Indiana or just Gary, but they gave their audio version of what it means to live in this area. What we were missing was the larger community and what they wanted to contribute to this. So we did get together and we started asking, what do you have? What do you have that you would like people to know is most important to you? And it's the artifacts, more should I say like mementos, things that they had saved that when they looked at, they said, this is Gary, you know, this is West Side. This is what it means to be connected to the beaches. This is what it means to be connected to nature. And so what we've done is we've gathered quite a few of these people. We're working with the seniors from the Housing Authority. We're working with the residents from the other, what some people say would be projects, but we just considered the Inner City Housing Authority. And so we asked them, let's get together, let's see what you have that gives you value when you mention that you are a person from Northwest Indiana, Gary. And so that's what we've done. We've gotten, in fact, I think we're going to hand out some flyers. And we've asked everyone, hey, do you have an old class ring? Do you have a song that reminds you of Gary? Do you have pictures when you were out on the lakeshore? What did it mean to go to the beach? What does it mean to be connected with nature? What is your version of what is most important to you? And this is what we have collected. So right here Rhonda, and she is going to tell you a little bit more about some of the things that she finds that connect her to the land.
Yeah.
Rhonda.
My name is Rhonda Cox. Nice to meet everyone. I'm here to present mainly my grandmother's, this is a long lineage in my family, being Native American. I grew up in Gary, Indiana back in the 60s. As a little girl, my grandmother canned, she sewed, she crocheted, she weaved, she bead. And I grew up with that strong bond as far as being educators, military, and steel mill workers in our family as far as the males are concerned. And her legacy to us as children, she always told us, she said, I need you guys, she said, you carry this on. She said, after I'm gone, she said, carry this on. So as of presently now, I'm an educator. I work with K through 12th graders with STEM, and also as technology, and also with art. That's my background. It's a healing art. In a form of a community where our children, I would say K through 12th graders, they need a bond, they need a closeness where they can attach on to something. When I was taking the crochet around to different schools, it was like, what is that? You know, that's my grandmother's stuff. That's old stuff. So when you actually show them, this is something that you can actually make, like the earrings or a purse, and this is the skirt I actually made, what you can turn, that's like, oh, that's neat, especially teenagers. They're like, that's neat. And so that's my idea of working with the teenagers on that strong bond. Once we're done, I can show you a picture of my grandmother, grandfather, my whole family. They're here, born in the grandmama was born, I think, in 1912. These are some of the actual blankets. I have more over there. I took this actual material to Joanne Fabrics, and she was like, where did you get this from? I said, you won't ever find this. This was in Arizona that she had purchased this when she was, I think grandmama was about 12 or 13 years old. She actually cut it. You can see it's made out of baskets. Don't ask me how she did it, because I can't tell you, because I wasn't the ones that was the seamstress. Only in the crochet department with me that I picked up on. So I'm keeping her dream alive as far as an educator, so that's my background.
Okay, and over at the table, you'll notice two dowels. Those two dowels represent my family's heritage to keeping their dreams and our legacy alive. Oh, yes, please. The first dowel, we call her Miss Charlotte, and my mom was given that when she was in her early 20s. My mom is 89 now. It comes from down, I think, the deltas of Mississippi and New Orleans, and it was given to her at an estate and auction for the family when they had lost all the land during the time, that they had the slaves and everything, and so she got that dowel and kept it and held it and forgot she had it. So for over 60 years, that dowel was hidden in a big trunk, and one day she happened to go and clean and realized that Miss Charlotte was down at the bottom of the trunk. And when we looked at it, you see that dowel's legs and things, that's the wood that had been used back in the day, and we have estimated that when we went back and looked at the family tree, Miss Charlotte is probably over 100 years old, and we had no idea that we had it. And it wasn't until that dowel came up that the story and the legacy of how we got Miss Charlotte actually brought everybody together and was like, oh my goodness, you got that thing, because no one wanted it. No one saw the value in it. But that's exactly what it was once we realized that that's what we had. And then the second dowel, Rebecca, and it's kind of funny. Now, she comes from Europe. She was given as a gift, and she is, I guess you would say, more of a dowel of privilege. Back in the day, I really don't know a lot about Rebecca, but, she had it going on. You could tell by the clothes she was wearing. She was totally the opposite of Miss Charlotte. But once we found out where she came from and what it was, we realized that, again, we're looking at treasures. That dowel was handmade, and it was handmade in Europe. And we brought the two dowels together. It was like bringing two worlds together, two extreme, people in their own right. They both exhibit the beauty and the culture of the people of that day. So that's what we've done, and we were able to partner with the Welcome Project, and we are now in the process of doing, I think, our third Lakeshore Peoples Museum. So we've got Willow Walsh, and she can give you an idea how it was and what we're doing now.
Yes, So the Lakeshore Peoples Museum, it's like it sounds, it is a people's museum. And so we do it with a pop-up model. So ideally, we'd like to go to a lot of different public spaces within the region and do that pop-up museum. We ask that people bring artifacts like dolls and crochet, and in doing so and coming to these spaces, we realize not only do these artifacts have value to us, they connect us to our family history, and they also connect us to the history of the region and how we all came to be in this shared space. And so what that looks like is recently we just went to the Douglas Center in June, and we had photos, we had blankets, paintbrushes, dolls, a cathedral, or a photograph of a cathedral. and so all these folks were able to bring these things and talk about the importance of it to themselves, and also, how that connects to the region. And what's really cool, I think, about it is that it is really people-focused. And I think that's kind of the theme of the day almost, that it really takes people. So the fact that these are artifacts that might not necessarily be found in a regular museum, but we're coming together in this space and recognizing together the value of those things.
Yeah, so our overall theme is that, as much as we appreciate helping us revitalize our communities and our region, just don't leave the people and what they bring to everything. I mean, without the people, there's no progress anyway. And in order to make it easier for everyone to work together, we would just like people to know that everyone has something that's special that can connect this region together. And please do not, just assume that any one region, any one community is less and less important than the whole community and the whole region as a whole. Thank you.